Today, I'm going to be making Dubai chocolate ice cream. Now, for those of you that don't know what Dubai chocolate is, essentially what it is a stuffed chocolate bar. So the outside is milk chocolate, then the interior is a pistachio cream, which has a little bit of like white chocolate in it. And then the texture of it is a shredded phyllo dough that's kind of browned in butter and everything. So it gives it this kind of crunchy taste. So people really like the pistachio mixed with that kind of crunchy texture inside of the bar. And that's what makes it so popular. So before I do anything, I need to try some Dubai chocolate for the first time. And in case you're wondering why some of these pieces are missing, this is actually a bar that a friend of mine, they had their share and they didn't want the rest. And so I got that. So that's what that looks like right there. You can see the milk chocolate and then the filling right there kind of goes all throughout it. Wow, yeah, I totally see why that's super trendy right now. That is super good. It almost tastes like kind of, obviously the milk chocolate, and then the pistachio is what really is like kind of the driving flavor of it. But the shredded phyllo dough inside is what really gives it the kind of the textural crunch. The closest thing I can compare it to is kind of Rice Krispies. I think the game plan I'm gonna try for using this is I'm going to make a pistachio ice cream based off of this pistachio cream. Tomorrow, when I do a mix-in, I'm gonna take the milk chocolate and parts of this, chop those up, and then mix those in so you get little bits. So it's almost gonna be like a chocolate chip pistachio cream ice cream. So today I have elected to make my own pistachio cream because making pistachio cream is actually very similar to making pistachio ice cream. I now have to take these pistachios, de-shell them, then I have to boil them for 5 minutes. Then after that, I have to remove the skins from there. Then they're ready to be put into a blender to be processed with the rest of our ingredients. So it's more time consuming, but based off what I ate here and what I think this ice cream can be, I think it's gonna be worth the extra effort. Okay, so I need to make sure I have enough pistachios that are de-shelled to fill a cup of them. So gonna start with that, and this is perfect here. So I'm trying to make it so the pistachios look more, so I'm trying to go from this to that. Okay, wow, I knew this was gonna take some time, but dang. This whole thing here is the result of a little over 15 minutes of work. So look at that. 15 minutes right there. So that's close enough to a cup. I'm probably just gonna call it here. I'm actually getting low on pistachios and some of these are so close it's harder to open. And this is close enough I still get the flavor I'm looking for. Okay, so that is done boiling and you can kind of see here, provided it doesn't steam up the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and pour these kind of out here. Now what I want to do with this is I want to then peel the skins off of these. So I'm just getting the bright green part because if I mix those in there, it's going to darken it and also slightly alter the flavor. And I want the best possible flavor, especially since I'm putting so much dang time into this. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Ooh, okay, that was another 10 plus minutes of just peeling all of this off of these, but you can see the difference. Like you don't realize how much gunk is on there from the kind of skin, because now I'm getting that vibrant pistachio color that I want. So now that all the setup's done, let's go ahead and start making our ice cream. So now we're gonna take the pistachios that we spent the last 30 minutes working on. We're gonna put these into the blender. 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, so that already kind of chopped some of these up. Okay, and then we're gonna add our cup of milk, probably about half of it. So now I'm going to add our sugar. Then we're gonna add the rest of our milk. Now this might be dumb, but I'm gonna try filming this with the lid off so you can see what it looks like. All right, it's time to pour our ice cream mixture. It's pretty thick, so I'm not gonna add any thickening. I feel like this should be enough. All right, that's what that looks like. Kind of see right there. It's kind of got a pea soup kind of look. Very, like, it has the pistachio color and everything. There's still some fine chunks of the pistachio in there, but that's fine. I didn't need it to be a complete puree. I just needed to get it close enough, and then the Ninja Creami is gonna do the rest. So let's go ahead and put this in the freezer and see how it does tomorrow. Okay, it is the next day. Let's see how this turned out. So that is still super green. So one thing that's interesting is kind of the graininess on there. So part of that is the pistachios. You can see kind of some of the nut chunks, and I think kind of the white parts there, that is the ice crystals that have formed on top. So I think the one thing I'm interested to see is if I added too many pistachios to this. So I think we're gonna go ahead and blend this, but before we do that, I'm going to work on our mix-in. All right, so that's what that looks like. It is looking super good right now. Looks like the chocolate really mixed in there well. You can see right there. See little chunks. From first glance, it looks like it has a really good texture, which is good because I did not use any thickening agent for this. So it is solely just the pistachios and how many of those are there that's really kind of thickening this. Ooh, that is super creamy just from a single scoop. All right, then obviously we have to add our garnish to this. So I have a few leftover chunks from my mix-in. There we go. That is a beautiful looking ice cream right there. Yeah, I'm really proud with how this turned out. But the real question is was the amount of time I spent on the pistachios worth the effort? Bon appetit.
Aerate it, warm it up. That's a 10.
Dang, that is good. That is super good. Wow, where do I even begin? The mix-ins was a fantastic idea. They're super successful. You get the pistachio ice cream, and then afterwards you get these really large chunks where you still get the crunch from the initial Dubai chocolate bar kind of filling. You get the initial crunch from that and the chocolate paired with it. So it's basically like having small bites of the Dubai chocolate bar within the ice cream. As far as the ice cream base itself, also really good. I would say, however, I probably had too many pistachios in there. I would say maybe a little bit less for what I had. I think it was like just shy of a cup. I'm thinking probably closer to half a cup. Or if you make more of this, a larger portion of this, then I'd have used the full cup. But I think this is really close. It's just super nutty. It might need a little bit more sugar to kind of balance out the nuttiness. Super good ice cream, and I'm gonna go in for another bite. Yeah, the texture is really good. Still like a hint of graininess from the nuts, but it's not enough to bother me about it, especially because I'm more distracted with the larger chunks of the Dubai chocolate bar inside the ice cream. It almost kind of reminds me of like a Ben & Jerry ice cream where their fillings inside are a lot larger than a typical like chocolate chip and stuff. And I think that's what makes this work so well. So because of all of this, I have to give it a 5 out of 5 scoops. This, I hate to say it, was worth the effort. If I was to do this again, I would blend up the pistachios in a food processor and then add it to a blender with the rest of the ingredients, and then would probably get them into like a finer paste. But like I said, super nitpicky. This is really good. And I'm not even a fan of pistachio ice cream, and I like this. Yeah, this was an absolute win, and I am really excited to finish eating this off camera. So yeah, Dubai chocolate ice cream. This is an absolute win. and probably one of my favorite ice creams I've made so far. Thank you everyone for taking time out of your day to watch me make weird ice cream flavors. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy sharing it with you guys. And if you enjoy that too, feel free to like this video and subscribe so you can see when I upload next, which is every Sunday. And if you have any ideas for future flavors of ice cream you want me to try, feel free to leave those in the comments below. And if you want the recipe that I use in this episode, that'll be in the description below. Again, thank you for watching and have a great day.